Hi everyone, it's Ali Menegakis with SC for CJR. We are here live downtown Charleston the day after one of the George Floyd protests, which eventually towards the night became more violent. We are here looking at the damage that was done after dark, and I'll turn it around so you can see that. Right here we're at the new Peking Chinese restaurant. We are on King Street right now, and the damage that you see in most of these storefronts is pretty consistent down the street. This establishment still has some damage that is visible. You can see that their front window was smashed, but a lot of the stores have already put up boards onto their storefronts. There's been a lot of volunteers that have come out. I've talked to a few store owners. One of them that said that when he got here this morning, there were about a dozen volunteers with boards and nails and saws to help fix his store. And he was planning on getting contractors to help him and didn't have to because of the support from the community. Here we're coming to Ink and Ivy, which is a bar, and when I was here before, this entire window was gone, completely smashed in. They fixed it since then, and you can see still the front door has signs of damage to it, to the window there. I haven't seen any protesters down this side at all today. There's still a significant police presence, making sure that everything stays safe, but also taking police reports for the damaged property to the store owners. But there's been a good amount of support from the community. People are here handing out water and drinks and food for free for those that are volunteering, offering their support to the business owners and offering their support to the volunteers that are helping to fix everything. This store is a bicycle shop. When I came here before, it was, most of the windows were completely smashed in. My understanding is that they did get some looting that happened within it, but they've cleaned that up now with the help of volunteers. You can see them bringing boards out from their own personal trucks and helping with that.
Charles, the owner. Oh, okay. So you want to board up the train?
This store had already put boards up before. You can see some of the graffiti on it. Black Lives Matter. Floyd. Here we're coming on Uptown Social. Fuji lost a window there, which they've since boarded up. A lot of the stores have encouraging messaging that they've put on the boards in the front. You can see across the street, someone wrote there, "I can't wait to hug you when this is over." I think it's clear, by the damage that was done and the significant protesting that was done last night, that there's a lot of pain, not just in this community, but all over the country, from not just the death of George Floyd, but also, from the decades of police abuse towards minorities, towards black men specifically. I'm not saying that I condone any violence at all, but I think it's just a portrayal of the kind of pain and anger that people feel, understandably, when they see, especially live video showing someone being murdered by police on a live feed. And there are a lot of things that we can do to fix these problems, and of course, violence is one way to get a message out, but there's other ways to make change. And that's one of the things that we do here at SC for CJR is advocate, make people aware of the issues that are involved in our system right now, and work towards coming up with creative solutions and legislative change. None of the change that happened in this country, happened only from violence. I mean, eventually you have to have laws and change the laws to get this change. I mean, segregation would never have ended if the courts did not actually rule to integrate. And the same can be said about the criminal justice system. We need to really start working together to not just make people aware, but advocate to our legislatures that we want change, and we want to have procedures in place to protect not only minorities but everyone from police, and protect police as well. So obviously this is a sad sight to see for any city. I mean, this is happening throughout the country right now, not just in downtown Charleston, but the big cities are really seeing a lot more damage. I mean, I think a lot of the people in Charleston are surprised by the extent that people went to last night to damage the property. I mean, Charleston is where, Dylan Roof, the young man who opened fire into Mother Emanuel Church, happened a few years ago. Same, right around that time, Walter Scott was shot down in the back several times by a police officer after a traffic stop. There's a lot of history of police abuse and violence and segregation and slavery in this city. I mean, this is one of the places where slaves were actually brought in and initially to the United States. So there's a lot of history in this town. But still, people are surprised by the reaction that a lot of people had in terms of being damaging. After the Mother Emanuel shooting and the Walter Scott shooting, there was a slogan, and it was Charleston. Sorry, I lost you for a second. I mean, Charleston Strong. At that time, after the Walter Scott shooting and after the Mother Emanuel shooting, Charleston came together hand in hand, and there wasn't any violent protest. There wasn't really a protest. It was more of a unity, and I think people expect that from this as well. Obviously, it's taken it to the next level, but I think that's just a natural step when people are frustrated and they don't see things changing, and they still see the same violence that's occurring. They get desperate and they express their anger in maybe not good ways. And this is just an example of that, in my opinion. Not that it's right, not that it's legal, not that it's okay, but I think the bigger picture is showing how our country is really fed up with seeing this kind of violence from police against minorities. Now with the technology that we have, it's really taken another level because it's spread everywhere, and people have these phones and recording devices on them at all times, and they're able to share live the injustices that happen, and people just don't know what to do anymore. But there's a lot that can be done, and sure, violence is one way to get your point across, but another way to get your point across is through advocating and being present and talking to your legislators and fighting for change through the legal process, through the court system, through the legislature. And that's what SC for CJR focuses on We would love your support and your help. If you're angry, if you're tired of seeing injustices, you know, instead of breaking windows, join us, join the fight. We can be stronger together and make more of a difference together. All right, I'm gonna turn around so you can see more of downtown. Again, we're on King Street now. A lot of the businesses were damaged. Boards have already been placed up. There's still some graffiti that's left around, but there's been a significant amount of volunteers that have helped to patch up the businesses, hand out water, hand out food. You can still see them around. Apparently there's still protesting going on at the Battery in downtown, so I'm gonna see if I can go over there and take some videos for y'all. Thank you for watching, and stay safe and take care.